So today we're going to be making a button down shirt. So making this button down shirt for a client. So the measurements that we are going to need for this tutorial is the shoulder measurement, the bust, the waist, the shirt length, the hip, and the neck opening. So this is for the bodice. So we will start by using drafting before we transfer this onto the fabric. So we will need a ruler, a shorter ruler, a longer ruler, a marker pen or a copy pen, a pencil, a pair of scissors, a tape measure. So these are the things that we are going to need, as well as our measurements. So with that said, let's jump straight into the tutorial. So yeah, I'll be marking excuse me, a vertical line on the pattern paper and a horizontal line. You can use 1 inch away from the edge of the pattern paper just to have a line that serves as a starting point. And then I then marked a 3 inches line from the starting point. That's 3 inches now. This is the 3 and a quarter inch. That one is going to serve as a placket at the front of the shirt. So with that done, everything I'm going to measure will be the side of this extension over here. So our shoulder is 16 inches. So half of 16 inches is 8. So that's 8 inches, and that is the shoulder line. So now that we have the shoulder line, what I'll do is to insert the waistline. So my waistline is at 16 inches. So I'll mark 16 inches. And then this is going to be my waistline. And then the full length of this shirt is 22 inches. So I will add an extra inch, an extra 2 inches for hemming purposes. So I'll place this at 24 inches. So this is that is the part where I will insert my hip measurement. And then with that done, I'll mark my chest measurement. So for the chest measurement, or the armhole depth, I will place the armhole depth at 8 inches. So to calculate the armhole depth, I divide the chest measurement by 6, and then I add 1.5. So in this case, the chest measurement is 33 divided by 6. That resulted, after adding 1, it resulted in 7 inches. The product is 7 inches. So the additional 1 inch is meant for the shoulder slant. So the shoulder slant will take away the 1 inch back to the initial 7 inches. So this is the chest line. All right, so what I'll do now is I'll insert the neck opening. So to insert the neck opening, you calculate the neck width. The neck width is the neck circumference divided by 5. So in this case, the neck circumference is 15.5. If you divide that by 5, you get 3.1. So this is the neck width. And then the neck depth is the neck circumference divided by 6. So the neck circumference divided by 6 is 2.6. So this is my 2.6 mark, and then I will create the curve over here. I'll start it off with my pencil and then further define it with my marker, because I do not have a curved ruler. So I'm giving you ideas. My birthday is the 23rd of November, so please buy me a curved ruler. Oh my goodness, I'm such an embarrassment. So, okay, it's fine. So we come here for the shoulder slant. I'll use 1 inch as a shoulder slant, and I'll slant the shoulders over there, and then I'll square up this to create the armhole curve. So on the chest part, you divide the bust measurement by 4. So divided by 4, in this case, 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. So I will add half an inch to that, just so that it's slightly loose and not too tight fitting. So I'll place it at 8.75, which is over there. And then I will go down to my waist measurement, and on the waist that we are dealing with here is 28.5 divided by 4, that is 7.1, and then I add half an inch loose allowance, that is 7.6, and then the hip part of the shirt, we're working with 35 divided by 4, that is 8.75, adding half an inch to that. We are going to place that at 9.25. So these are the measurements, and I will join all of these. All right, and then over here I'll go up by 2.5 inches, mark 2.5 inches, and then I'll mark 3 inches in to give the curve effect of a shirt, but it's not totally straight. It's nicer when a shirt has this curve over here. So with that done, so now what I have to do for the front part, I divide this part by 2. So this divided by 2. And then I will go in by 1/2 inch. And then I will create the armhole curve. And to create the armhole curve, I will have a curve that goes over here. So for this part of the extension, you have to make a curvature over here so that this part aligns with that part when you are sewing. You can do that, or you can just leave this part blocked and you trim it when you are cutting. So with that done, what I have to add now are the joining allowances. Okay, so this is the front part. So now I'm going to make this is the center front. So now I'm going to make the back part of the shirt. So to make a back part of the shirt, I will align the center front to the center back. So this edge over here is going to serve as my center back, like that. So I'll trace all of the lines. I need not trace all the lines, honestly. What I have to do is to put back the 1/2 inch over here. So to do that, I'll simply join this part of the sleeve to that part. Like that, and then I'll trace everything as is. So there's something that you should note, that when it comes to this part, I will go out just by 1/2 inch, so that when I'm folding, I don't run out of fabric. So I'll add 1/2 inch over there, and then I'll blend that. I'll blend that over here. The reason for adding this additional 1/2 inch is to make it a point that when I am joining the two parts, the sleeves, I don't run out of fabric. So okay, with that done, so what I will do now is that I will go up by 1.5. The reason why I go up by 1.5 is that the shoulder has to, for the back part, the shoulders are a bit larger, so there has to be extra fabric on the shoulders, because there's a bit of hunching that happens, especially for males. They have that extra flesh on the shoulder, so to speak. So the back part has to be longer than the front part, and ideally you can go up by 1.5 to 2 inches depending on how big the person you're making the shirt for is. If the person is really, really big, then you can go up by 2 inches, 2.5, sometimes 3 inches for those people that are bodybuilders. So I'll be going up from this line, the first line, before I added an allowance. So I'll be going up from there, or else I can go up by the 2 inches from this line so that I maintain what I talked about earlier, which is that extension for sewing. So I have gone up. So with that done, so what I'll do now is that I will slant my shoulder. I can also do the same thing for the front. If necessary, I can insert that allowance. It's up to you, but you should remember what you have done. And then I'll then make my neck depth. So remember that there's a line over here, which is the shoulder line. Okay? So what I'll do is to check. So this is the additional folding extension. So now I have to mark the back. So the back is going to be 1 inch shorter, or it will have 1 inch neck depth. So there you go. So you see this armhole is shorter because this part will fold over to there. So I'll notch this portion, and this is the center back. So basically this is what you do when you are making a men's shirt. So now I will mark, starting from the shoulders, I will mark a straight line over there, and then I will measure 4 inches. So this is 4 inches. From this line, I'll measure 4 inches all the way for the back yoke. So this part will serve as a back yoke. So to cut off the back yoke, I'll just cut this. I'll cut a separate piece of this. So it depends what type of back yoke you want to make. If you want to make a back yoke that is detached, you can separate the back yoke and then cut 2 pieces. But if you want the back yoke to be part of the to be joined onto the bodice, then you can cut just 1 piece and attach it. But for this design, I want a back yoke that is going to be separate. So I'll leave half an inch. Okay. And remember, this part will be on fold. And I cut off that, but before I do that, I have to mark this part because it has to be notched, because this is where we're going to be joining the apex of our sleeve. So I have to mark that part. So this will have two pieces. This one will be on fold, we'll have one piece, and this one will be on fold and we will have two pieces of that. So I had forgotten to show you that I also trimmed off this part, so I had to show that part before I confuse people. You trim off this part, please. So to make the additional piece that is on the front of the bodice, divide this by 2, and then from the waist you go up by 1, which is this point, go up by 1 inch, and then bring down this line straight up to 2.5 inches high, and then you join this point to this point. So basically that's it, and then you cut off this part. Thank you so much for joining me in today's tutorial. I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you and bye-bye. God bless you. Bye.